Good morning, everyone. This is Victoria Kimmel, and I'm an ambassador with the Taylor Automotive family. And I'm very happy to have in the studio today David Bates from the Warriors Way. The Warriors Way is an organization that we've had the great fortune of being able to do things with in the Taylor Automotive group. It's a pretty special organization that supports veterans and first responders. David will tell us much more about it in a really unique way, like no other way done in Ohio. And so I'm really eager to have David here so you all can hear firsthand from him what he does, why he does it, and the impact he's having on the community. So David, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so tell us more about you and how you got started in Warriors Way.
So my name is David Bates. I run Warriors Way. I'm the founder. I served 6 years in the military. I did 3 combat tours to Iraq. I developed PTSD during that time. So to help with that, I started doing knife making and found out it was very therapeutic. So then I started doing classes, and that a lot of veterans seem to have good results with that. So we started Warriors Way, which is recreational therapy for veterans, and then we moved it to first responders, and then opened it up to everybody else just because everybody needs a little therapy nowadays.
What's unique? I think that's, there's so many different ways that veterans are supported, but what's unique about the therapy that you provide? Why do you think that it reaches that group and really resonates with first responders and veterans?
So I think it really resonates with them is because it's getting back to our natural primal instinct of we do knife making as our form of recreational therapy. So they'll come out, they'll heat up the steel, and they'll beat on it. And it goes back centuries before that of warriors and stuff like that getting to do that, and it just helps release some of that frustration or anger they may have going on at the time. I think that's why it goes a long way with the veterans and first responders.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, it really speaks to what they're what they've been trained to do, right? Is be action oriented, use their hands, use their minds, and do things. So I think it's a really unique form of therapy for them. Certainly impactful. Talk about, I know this struck me when you told me this, talk about how veterans get a hold of you and what you do with them. So for example, I'll steal a little of your thunder. You said that you give them your cell phone. You're available 24/7 anytime.
We are open 24/7, 365 by appointment, so they can email us through the website. They can call my personal cell phone number, which is on our business cards. Get a hold of me at any time of the day. I can go set up a class. That's the perk of having the location we're at and being able to just open up at a moment's notice. If a veteran needs help at 3 a.m., we can open up the doors, make some bottle openers, bracelets, or something along those lines, and get them out there and get them in the right frame of mind to be willing to accept help or go get help.
Does that happen a lot where you get calls in the middle of the night?
Yeah, we've had 22 veterans so far utilize calling me at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning to come out and hammer. Some of them have just gotten a better place of mind, or some of them actually got in the DA and got help.
That's amazing. And David's humble, I know, because we've had the opportunity to work together a little bit, and you stay with those veterans the entire time, right? However long they need you.
We've had classes, we've had veterans come in at like 12:30 at night, and we've been there till 6 o'clock in the morning. I stay with them until the point where we know they're not going to hurt themselves. The law enforcement that brought them in, or if they came in on their own, or if a friend came, they'll take them back where they need to go, or they'll get them help they actually need. Everybody leaves in a better frame of mind that they can actually think.
You mentioned law enforcement. So what's the role of law enforcement in getting veterans or first responders connected to you?
We have a few county sheriff's departments that if they get a veteran that needs help, they'll bring them to it. They'll call me, they'll bring them to us, and they'll actually sit there and wait for them, and then they'll actually take them back home if that's what they want to do, or they'll take them to the hospital and get them the help they need.
Yeah, I think that's just amazing. Yeah, really powerful. For people like me, I'm not a first responder or a veteran, and yet I've had the privilege of being able to work with your organization. So talk about how lay people can get involved and support Warriors Way.
So we have donation-based classes for everyone else because, like I said, everyone needs a little therapy nowadays. Everything's so stressful nowadays. It's a good way to de-stress, and it just helps you get outside of your head, get you in that mindset where you're just thinking about making the knife or whatever the activity is for that day. But yeah, we do everything for donation-based for everyone else that's not a veteran, first responder, or youth. and they can just contact us, set up a donation class, and go from there.
That's great. And I'll talk a little bit about the class that we did for the Lima Taylor Automotive Kia group. So we had the management group go into David's workshop and we forged knives. And I will tell you firsthand, it takes a lot of concentration and coaching by David to help people like me through it. But it was very therapeutic. I had to stay focused on what I was doing the entire time because I have a big hammer and really high heat, right? How hot is it?
It's about 18 to 2,000 degrees.
Yeah, pretty warm. And it took us about 6 or 8 hours to forge our knives. We did in a series, I think, of over 4 workshops. And then we connected a leadership message to each one of those, which David helped with. And it was a really great experience. And I now have my own knife that I forged, which is really exciting. We haven't talked about this. Tell everybody where you're located.
So we're located in Lima, right outside of Lima, Ohio, just right off I-75 off the Reese Road exit. We're in our own little shop. It's amazing how much equipment we can put in that little
There's
shop.
a lot in there.
But yeah, we are located right outside of Lima, Ohio.
Yeah. When did you form Warriors Way? How long have you been doing this?
So I've been doing this since 2016 with just reaching out to veterans from hunting programs and stuff like that. And then we made Warriors Way an actual 501c3 in the end of 2019. And then we've been doing what we're doing at our current location since the beginning of 2020.
Okay, nice. So 4, 6, 8 years total, probably around that. And talk about like your vision for the next phases of Warriors Way.
Vision going forward, as of right now, we're roughly getting about 250 people through the door every year, which is a lot for a small organization like we are. We're looking at doubling that and trying to help as many people as we possibly can help in our local area and the surrounding areas.
That's wonderful. Yeah, that's great. And what type of support do you need from the community to do what you're doing? How are you getting support? What more support do you need?
Through the local community, we're getting donations mainly. As we're a donation-based program, we have a very high expendable budget with knives, steel, and belts and stuff like that. So most of our support comes in the form of donations. Mm-hmm. And we get donations throughout the year from different organizations locally or nationally that help us make sure that we keep the program free or donation based.
Mm-hmm. That's great. And one of the things, I know one of the statistics you shared with me when we first met that was really eye-opening is the number of veterans that die by suicide. Can you share a little information about that?
So roughly 22 veterans every day take their own lives. We use the word roughly because that number changes on a daily basis. It can be anything from just PTSD involvement to depression and stuff like that, but it's trying to work towards that, lowering that number by 1 every day. It's the most we can do.
It's such a powerful mission. It truly is. What about events coming up? What are some of the events? You guys do a lot of really cool events, so can you talk about some of those upcoming events?
So let's see, November 10th, 11th, and 12th, which is Veterans Day weekend, we actually have about 10 to 20 forged fire contestants. They're coming out for the weekend and they're making knives. We're gonna auction those knives off to raise funds, but they'll all be making knives, doing demonstrations, and anyone from the public can come out and watch, and it's all 100% free.
Cool. I've heard that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
I think I'm gonna get there. I want to see it. I want to see how the professionals do it. I'm not quite there yet. All right. I think we covered a lot of ground today. Again, thanks for being here and thanks for being a great partner. We're really honored to work with your organization, and I've learned a lot, and we look forward to continuing to support you.
Thank you for having me out here, and thanks for helping spread the word about what we're doing.
Absolutely.